This is Mrs. Bruner, and today we're going to discuss fair use. We will talk about the definition, the four-factor test when considering fair use, and 4 points to also look at when using fair use. To begin, let's discuss the definition of fair use. Fair use is the right that the public has to use copyrighted material for special circumstances without getting permission from the original author. Copyright laws protect the rights of a work's creator to decide how that work is used within a specified period of time. The fair use doctrine provides an avenue for users to study, expand, reinterpret, and otherwise make use of copyrighted materials in a way that will promote the progress of science and useful arts. The Fair Use Provision, Section 107 of the U.S. Copyright Act, has 4 factors for assessing your use. Each factor should be weighted evenly, though it should be noted that the 4th factor has been weighted more heavily in fair use lawsuits. The first factor is purpose of use. The second factor is the nature of the work. The third factor is the amount used. And the 4th factor is the effect on the potential market. In the next few slides, we will take a closer look at each one of the factors. The first factor to consider when thinking about fair use is the purpose for which you're using the copyrighted material. Some factors might include comedy or parody, criticism and commentary, such as a net letter to the editor and a book or movie review, reporting the news, and schoolwork, research, and teaching. Educational and nonprofit purposes are most likely going to be considered under the fair use purpose. You also want to make sure that transformative purposes are used over any others. The second factor is the nature of the work, or what kind of work you are reusing. Courts are more likely to rule in your favor if you are using works that have already been published, works that have little to no creative expression, and works that contain mostly factual information, such as nonfiction works. Courts are more likely going to rule in favor of copyright holders if the work is unpublished, commercial, educational, or creative work. The next fair use factor is the amount used, or how much work you are going to be using. When thinking about this, think about these 4 things. Use only the amount needed for the project. Make sure the portion used is not the heart of the work or something that's going to give the story away. Use only the amount needed for the project, and the portion used must meet the stated purpose, such as a comedy or parody, educational purposes, or reporting the news. The final factor is the effect on the potential market. The questions you should ask yourself is, does your use deprive the copyright owner of income, or does your use undermine a new or potential market for the copyrighted work? In other words, is what you're making going to affect the person that owns it from making a living, or the company that produces it from potentially creating more or making a profit? Finally, we're going to discuss the 4 points of fair use. The first point is to use only a small portion of the work. The second point is make it original by adding new meaning to the work. You want it to fit your piece. Third, rework it or use it in a totally different way. And fourth, you can't make money off the work. It must be made for nonprofit. And most importantly, give credit to the creator. This is just a sign of respect and appreciation for them creating a work that you can use. A couple things to keep into consideration is there's no formula for assessing fair use. Making a fair use determination involves weighing each of the 4 factors and examining how they apply in a specific situation. While there is no guarantee that each factor will carry the same weight in any 2 cases, understanding the basic principles of fair use can help us use copyrighted materials responsibly and effectively.